Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Ask the Shaman. Good morning, Grand Rising. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Ask the Shaman. I'm your host, Antonio Corriente. I also want to welcome you to the Positive Pineapple Chapel, the Pineapple Channel. This channel, so we're dedicated to helping people all around the globe become happy, healthy, and strong. We want to help people to become their greatest possible versions, their most successful self. And, success can be measured in many ways. And I love to kind of ask questions about that. Oh, and we have a special guest today. Let's bring the guest down. Hi, Pat. Good morning. I just popped on, so you're just in time, man. Hey.
Whoa.
How are you today?
I'm good. Woke up a little congested, but got blew my nasal sinuses out, and I'm feeling better.
Hey, have you ever done I have a video for sinus and allergy and congestion relief. You ever do that before?
I have not checked that one out.
Oh, my goodness. You're going to be a totally different person. We might even just do some of that exercise right now. What you might need, though, usually is I always grab a tissue and have it handy, because the thing is this kind of exercise is really, really powerful, and you're moving a lot of fluid. Even if you don't feel congested, sometimes stuff from deep in the sinus and stuff around the sinus. So I learned a lot about this kind of breathing back when I had like severe symptoms of lung disease. So I'd have to clear my sinus and my passage like often. So this was like something I learned a while back, and it was the only thing that worked really, like even better than like medication and the things they're giving me. So it starts off, what we do is we breathe in through our mouth and we out through our nose. And as you're going through your nose, you're pushing out. So it's like an in through the mouth and a out through the nose. Already I'm moving things. And it's like you're trying to do a double snot rocket.
Right.
It's crazy. This isn't one you do in public. But we're doing it in the name of science.
Amen.
And relief of symptoms. This is so already I didn't really have any congestion, but I'm starting to move stuff. So I do about 10 that way. And then I take a break for a second and feel the buzz. And then what I do is I go the other way. Then what you do is you're sniffing, you're trying to snort the world into your face. And then just softly out through the mouth. Pulling now. And then you take a deep breath in. You let all your air out. And then you pinch your nose. You pinch your nose, holding your breath. And then you move your head around side to side, up and down, holding your breath. And what's happening as you're doing this, you're building up nitric oxide in your paranasal sinus. And you keep going till you have like a decent urge to breathe. And then when you need to breathe in through the nose, and you breathe in and you hold that. And now what's happened is you've taken in all that nitric oxide gas and you're just holding it, letting it be in your lungs. I like to use visualization. I can see it going into the lung structures, starting to move off into my bloodstream. And then I just release the air and let it kind of expand. You'll kind of feel right away this expansion start to happen. That's all nitric oxide gas starting to vasodilate, dilate all the blood vessels. And then what I do is I usually do a couple rounds. So I do another round, like where somewhere like 7 to 10 breaths where they're out. I might speed it up and then reverse it. And reverse it. And reverse it. And then that big breath in and you hold it. And then you release it. And then you pinch your nose and you do it again. Pinching, moving the head. Sometimes I go in circles, rotate the head. And then when I need to breathe, big breath in. And I hold it. And I let all of that gas just permeate into my body. And then I release. So already 2 things should have happened. You probably are feeling a little light. And then also test out your sniffer. It probably starting to work better already. So this is the kind of exercises like I do every day because my whole life I've had like I feel like I was born with respiratory illness. So it's something that's been very helpful. I do this exercise usually at least once a week, if not twice. But in this time of year, usually kind of more. So that was fun.
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Pat.
Yeah.
Thanks for playing along. Thanks for playing along. So what's going on, Pat? Would you got anything you want to discuss, talk about? Anything on your mind today?
I was trying to mull some stuff over, and I don't know that I have anything specific.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It's been an interesting start to the new year. I've definitely I know my spiritual condition is contingent on my daily reprieve, and my daily practice has been I'm getting more solid in my daily practice, and it seems to me like I know the new year is like I feel like it should be off and running, but I think there is a season for things, and I still think I'm kind of maybe in like the resting season. I get in my head about like um I'm not doing enough, or I'm not giving enough of my focus and power into something, and then I get in these self-defeating thought patterns when in reality it might just be like I'm getting shit done, I'm taking it slow, and just to be okay with that. So I don't know.
I don't know. Well, I don't think we're supposed to really know. I mean, it's not much of a test or anything like that if we know all the answers. But yeah,
Right.
I can totally like agree to that. There's times where my mind tries to pull that kind of stuff on me, but I just don't. Just because it's the new year doesn't mean you have to be hustling right away. This is that's also kind of a made up thing. Not all cultures celebrate the new year on January 1st. Okay, so that's ours. That's kind of our thing. Not all parts of the world is their new year is on January 1st. That some cultures New Year starts at different times. So it's like I don't believe, a lot of people, and that's why a lot of people I think fail with their New Year's resolutions. They've put this date on this thing, and we're technically in the center of a season that's meant for more resting, more interrogation, more inner kind of work. This is like an inner work kind of season, getting us ready. I like to kind of flow my life and my practice with seasons. I like to kind of be, if I'm nature and you're nature, wouldn't it make sense if we match the season in which we are living currently?
Absolutely.
I feel like that makes sense.
I heard you talk about how like you were altering your diet kind of with what naturally would be around your environment with the season, and I thought that was super cool and in tune, and I never really thought about it like that. So I think there's a lot of power in what you're saying about operating with obviously like we are nature with the environment around us. And yeah, as I become more solid in who I am and have a little more power of focus and not just running day to day. That's super powerful stuff there.
Mm-hmm. And the daily reprieve, of course. I don't know if you caught it, but Zane and I did a whole live stream where we talked about the importance of ceremony and ritual in leading a balanced life. So we
Okay.
go deep. There's so many ways. There's things that we don't understand our rituals too. Just even I talked about in the live, I talked about how I've come to a point where I treat even like brushing my teeth as a ritual. Like I'm very open to it. Like I sit there and I like am actually aware and feeling. I used to just brush my teeth and take off kind of thing. Like I was thinking about other things like, all right, got to brush your teeth. I got to do this, got to do that while I'm brushing my teeth. Now it's very much like ceremonial. I get out my toothbrush, I get out my toothpaste, I put my toothpaste on the toothbrush, and I'm aware and I'm giving it awareness and love. And then I'm saying to myself, I'm giving love to myself now by brushing my teeth. I'm taking care of myself, and now I have this relationship. And what can happen is everything around us is alive. Everything around us is energy, or spirit is another way. So you can spiritualize, you can have a spiritualized kind of life, or a sacred living life, where you can start to look at even the mundane tasks that you do is very ceremonial. And as we kind of do that thing, that opens up our awareness to gratitude. Like I find great deep gratitude now in doing something as mundane as brushing my teeth. I find a great like kind of ceremony in just making coffee. Like I get beans, I grind them by hand in a pestle. I pray with them. I create this because before it was just like, all right, make the coffee so I can get the coffee and drink the coffee. And now it's not like a ceremonial kind of thing. Now it's just like, I'm just doing it. I'm just going through the motions. And when I find myself doing that, that's when I feel real disconnected. So if I open myself up, like just something that easy, when I cook food, it's a ceremony. If I roll a joint, it's a ceremony. That's how it is. Like I like to really ceremonialize and give life and love to everything around me, because that's kind of how my perception and my current awareness is I feel the energy and aliveness of everything. So what I want to do is share that. And then that puts us into, in our tradition, what we call Aini, or divine reciprocity, or another way to think of it is balance. I'll feel very balanced with my reality.
That's so beautiful. I agree 100%. And there's been times where I've practiced that too. I think I've heard that first from like Ram Dass talk about that. And he'd been talking about going to the bathroom as a sacred thing. And at that time, that was such a foreign concept to me. And just, yeah, it's so beautiful. And I appreciate that, because I can just be in run mode, and just doing things to get done and not, and everything is so beautiful. You're absolutely right. Everything is energy, and it's just the manifestations of the physical. Everything is sacred and so beautiful, and being in that moment and knowing that and appreciating that is just so transformative of us. Yeah, beautiful.
It's one of my favorite practices. Like really, it really brings you into a focused kind of awareness all the time. I couple that with breath awareness. Like I was actually talking to Mary yesterday, and I asked her something I never asked her before. I was like, how much of the time do you think you're aware of your breathing? That's what I was asking her. And she was like, that's a weird question. I never really thought about it, I guess. And then her first answer was like, probably not as much as I should. I was like, well, that's a judgment you've made against yourself. So I don't want that information. I was just asking, I just want to know how often. She's like, well, I'm not really sure. I was like, well, I guess it's a good thing to do. That alone can be a very powerful kind of consciousness practice. How often are you aware of your breath? How often are you aware of your breathing? Most of us have no idea. I know because I'm always aware. Right now, as I'm talking, I'm aware of the breath, where it's going, how it's moving. I've trained myself to pay attention to it, because something even that simple, if you have control over your breathing, you generally have control over everything else, like your hunger, your thirst, your even like cravings and things. Like if I end up doing something like I don't battle addiction in any sort of sense, I would say, but I definitely have addictions that kind of come and go. Like right now, I'm addicted to coffee again. I love coffee. but I also treat it very ceremonial and very lovingly. So I'm not talking, because what we have to really be careful about is like something like that is what's happening in the mind, the self-talk. What am I saying when I'm drinking my coffee? Oh, I'm addicted to coffee again. Now we're making this bad thing. Or if I use, once in a while, I like to use tobacco. So as like ceremonially, I try to stay away so I don't get addicted to the nicotine again. But that's happened before too. And then so what I do is I start you becoming more aware of my breath. So especially like when I'm having a craving, like if I have a craving, sugar, something like that, and I don't want to do that, I take control of my breathing. The first thing I do is I take in slower, bigger breaths. And I start asking myself, do I really need this? And then usually my higher mind then comes alive and awaken and goes, no, son, you do not need this. And I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah, I agree 100% with that. And addiction is it's an interesting concept. And like you said, the more present I can make myself, the less grip any. I, I give power. I give power to things, I should say. And the more conscious I am, the more power I am, the more power I have in operating how my higher self wants me, not this. Because I do think, obviously our body can crave things, and our mind can crave things, and I have struggled in the past with very compulsive drug use and other behaviors that were self-deprecating, and that. So I actually value my addiction because it's what brought me to my spiritual path. It wasn't until I deep dived into what was really going on with me and figuring out ways to recenter myself and work for my higher self. And I attribute that to my heroin addiction, because I think I would have just been I guess I'll use the word like a normie, just going about my day on my auto programming, not really conscious, if it wasn't for um, me self-destructing myself.
Mm-hmm. Yep. I understand that completely. I'm all about telling people, I don't tell people not to experience things. If you want to try something, try it. Just try not to lose yourself in it. Don't allow it to replace whatever it is that's missing in your life. My own personal addictions, I was addicted to cocaine for almost 10 years. And in that time, why? It's because I was escaping how I felt normally. I didn't even realize how sensitive I was. Like my whole life, I've been very sensitive energetically and also emotionally. It's just I built these walls to be able to cover it all up. The thing is I liked cocaine so much because however my brain chemistry is, it seemed to affect me a lot different than the other people around me that were doing cocaine. I was a lot calmer than everyone. I wasn't japped up and my jaw wasn't clacking together. My teeth weren't smacking together. I had very kind of conscious, clear thoughts because whatever that was, that it also kind of mimicked, like I was also on ADHD medication for 11 years, which is speed, more speed. The speed actually could slow my thoughts down. That's usually what would happen to me. And that's why the medications, they're helpful to people, but only if you allow them to open your mind as well. But when I was on cocaine, I had the most pure and beautiful thoughts of my propensity to be angry, violent, or anything like that was totally gone. I was docile. And like, I remember I would be like counseling my friends and things like while we were on cocaine. So yeah, I don't think anything is a mistake. I don't live in a reality where I say, well, that's wrong and that's wrong. I don't think anything's wrong at all. I actually believe that the whole creation is perfection. It's our judgments that create good and bad, and this should be this way. Who says it should be? You say it should be. That's the only time we really suffer is in the shouldhood. And I remember I had a therapist when I was a young man, and that was one of the favorite things he taught me is about should. And he said the shoulдhood is shithood. That's what he would say. The should is shit. It doesn't matter what you think it should be or someone says it should be. It is what it is, and you change and pivot from there. That's what you have is the choice to change at any time. He taught me that, and that's where I started to develop a mindset of I'm under no obligation to be the same person I was 5 minutes ago. So if I lost my shit and I, reacted in some sort of way that I don't want to be or agree with, I don't get hung up on it because that's not who I have to continue being. I can let go. I can just detach. And for some people, that's just completely crazy because they've been trained to hold on to this false identity, and the ego will even try to protect it, even when it's wrong. I'm wrong sometimes. That's okay. I'm all right with that. And I'm like, well, what can I do to right that? Because I don't want to sit in the wrongs. I want to sit in the rights. Let's create rights for everybody. Let's make it better and more beautiful instead of diminished and broken down.
Yes, I concur 100%. And I come from that. That's been an awesome lesson for me over the past year because my mind was programmed to stay in that self-defeating, like, look at the problem. Why would you do that? Why did you do that? And stay there. And now over this past couple years, probably now, it's, yeah, like you said, I do something that I don't agree with or I don't want to continue doing, and I'm able to just auto-correct and keep moving forward and not stay stuck. And yeah, and that's a common thing in our culture that it's beautiful because the more I change, the more my reality changes, right? So I don't see it as much as I once did, but I know a few family members that could probably get shooken out of that as well. But
yeah, that's always the challenge, we just have no control over any other people, and it's always the people that we wish the most could shake it out don't. It's just kind of
yeah,
how it's kind of just how it works here. That's kind of our own lessons. It's especially people like us who are on ascension paths. We're on ascension paths. What will happen is parts of our relationships with people will fall apart, and sometimes the complete relationship will fall apart. Some of the people will recycle and come back as you grow into a new person. Some of them aren't going to want anything to do with you because they can't understand you. And that's okay.
yeah,
It's an allowance.
that's a beautiful concept. I was just talking about this with a group, and it's like, I've learned not to get attached to the person, right?
Mhm.
Like I was talking about with my ex partner. When I got this new partner, I wanted everything she was in my ex, right? I wanted to be my ex. I wanted my ex to be all these things this other person was, and I couldn't. And it wasn't until I realized that I'm focusing on the person, not the vibration that I want. I wanted this person to be the vibration that I want. And I found nowadays, like, I'm getting I'm happy with where I am at with I don't attach myself to the person or thing anymore. I all know it's going to come back in a vibration that might look surprising to me, but it's the vibration I need. It's not necessarily what my mind thinks it should be. And I think that's huge because I think, well, going on with kind of the addiction talk, codependency kind of rolls into that. I attach myself to one thing to make myself feel better when in reality, nothing outside myself can make me feel better. Which, I mean, things that manifestations that come to me definitely can heighten my mood, and it's that vibration I appreciate, but it's ultimately my inner is in control of that. So
Mhm. Mhm.
yeah,
I'm going to hit on some comments here real quick.
beautiful.
Benjamin says, "Hi, brother. I'm going to be in the States soon. I would like to come see you. Is it possible to do some work with you? I can pay." Of course, Benjamin. I'm here to help everybody. So when you come on over stateside, we can figure out how we can meet up. Okay. There's always there's always possibility. Brianna Burgess, good morning. Chris Wesley. And if we don't match, I have to remember what we were talking about. Is that challenging, even if we are the same, or does it truly rely on who and what each person is? Just ramble thoughts. I'm not sure what we were talking about. I'm a little behind here. So if you want to go deeper into that, Chris, I am very open for that. Tommy Thompson, good morning. 1 million Buddhas. I love it. that's my brother Mark. Got to stay aflame, and that is a powerful key. Yeah. Making energy even for the immobile objects in life. Then you can make emotion and people mobile after you learn. Yeah, a lot of that has to do with perspective and perception. I have a developed perception where I'm completely aware that everything is alive. It's singing to me. It's like everything feels like a song that I'm not in, that I'm part of. Like everything is like, and when I'm focused in that way of being, it's just hands down heaven. It's just heaven. It feels very heavenly. What I'm trying to do is figure out how I can just stay there permanently. I haven't figured it out yet. I'm working on it. Good morning. I love Positive Pineapple. You know you will be in practice at their live and virtual events. Thank you. I was definitely supposed to watch this today. I think that's a heart and a brain. Nardu says, make peace with the addiction and accept that his time is now completed. Well, that is definitely a good place to go. It's accepting. It open mouth in a calmer, passionate way instead of anxiety about, is it going to sound right? I'm having a hard time with that one. Okay, and a bunch of small comments after redemption. I know, no worries. So it's like we're having a dialogue that I'm unaware of. Okay, no worries. I can't either, but figure then rewatch I leaving myself signs. Hey, that makes lots of sense to me.
Yeah,
I understand. I understand. Yeah, addiction is a crazy kind of thing. A lot of it has to do with what we say it is or what we're agreeing to it is. The primary things that lead us into addiction. I don't know too many people that don't become addicts unless we're escaping. That's the first thing. And so, sobriety is a wonderful thing and something I recommend for, most people to search at, look at, but I think that's kind of skewed too. Like, what's good and what's bad. I would say anything bad is something that's controlling your life. If it's stopping you, if you have to have it and you can't live without it or you can't be happy without it, then you're addicted. So I love to point out to people, we live in this time now where all of us, like, I'm addicted to my phone. Like all of us are. That's the truth. If you think you're not, put it down for a while. That's how you find out. Shut it off and put it in a drawer for the day. See how it makes you feel. You'll find out right away. But that's also, we can help ourselves by taking those kinds of breaks. I think you were talking yesterday in a video about something like that. You're talking about tolerance breaks.
Yes.
Yeah. Good stuff.
Yeah. I think, like you said earlier, I think everything is, if it's here in this reality, it's up for exploration, right? Mm-hmm. And I like exploring. I like different realms of consciousness, different different modalities of healing, that whatever it is. I like exploring things that majority of people consider taboo. Mm-hmm. But it's all, like you said, like, if it's gripping me, if I feel like I need it, then there's an issue. And then sometimes I like to test my boundary, test my own boundaries, do something and take a tolerance break, sit down for a minute, sit in that wanting for something and learn how to control that, because it's all, we are masters of our own universe, right? We're masters of our own reality. And it's, those different things for me helps me hone my skill. I just want to tell you how cool and awesome I think it is that you do this and you're reaching people overseas and they're wanting to come over here and meet you. And I feel very blessed to have this community in my local neck of the woods. So I just think that's super cool and wanted to shout out to that.
Awesome, man. Yeah, I mean, I love what I do more than anything else I've ever done in my life. It's super challenging. It's the most challenging thing I've ever done in my life. Very difficult, but it's forcing me to grow and create all the time. And so that I know is totally worth it. And also, it's like I like my faith to be tested. We were just trying to test my faith. I asked that God or creator, people can have different words. I'm really comfortable with using the word God. I'm not using that in a religious sense or like I'm praying to a deity or a man or something. all. It's what it is. And I believe that the all is guiding me precisely where I need to be. Do I forget and disagree sometimes? Yeah, but it's really short, like really short. Like I don't spend a lot of time disagreeing with my reality. It's something I continuously work at, is just being in agreement. Why should I disagree with what is? Like what, that's where we get into the shouldhood. Well, it should be some other way. I guarantee you that's the only time that any of us ever suffer, is when we're in disagreement with reality. If you're in agreement, you can't really have suffering. This doesn't mean you won't have pain. You'll have pain. You can agree to that too. I have pain, and that's okay. I'm all right with that. But that's not suffering. Pain is inevitable. Suffering is a choice. And that's what that means, is you have a choice. You don't have a choice whether or not you're going to have pain. I guarantee you'll have pain. That's how this place is designed. It's designed because it's through that pain is how we grow pleasure. We grow into. If you never felt something terribly painful, I mean, how could you ever feel the beauty of, say, like the smile on your child's face? You know what I mean? Like that, there's just something about that that's irreplaceable and lovely, and happy birthday to your little that just had a birthday.
Oh,
You have great kids, by the way. I think your kids are amazing. They have such awesome little energy fields and stuff. They feel almost like little aliens to me. I love them. They're so awesome. So whatever's coming through you is in them too. And that's our consciousness, and it's growing in them. I can't wait to see how your little people grow into their consciousness, because it's been amazing to me to watch my own little grow into. She's nearly an adult now, and her level of consciousness is something. It's really amazing. I couldn't imagine understanding things the way she understands things at 17 years old. Like, wow. So then that opens up a whole fantasy world of what would that be like?
that is a fun, beautiful thought experiment, because I know what I introduce my kids to, and it's things that like I'm just now learning. And I'm like, wow, if I, that awareness at such a young age of like all these different things, yeah. And it just compounds, and yeah, there'll be way more. I think every generation at the point is way more advanced than the last, if you're doing it right, or, But yeah, thank you so much. Yeah, kids are amazing extensions of oneself, and just I never, like, an interesting thing, like I never had motivation really until I had kids. I mean, they just having kids kicked me in the ass, and I got my shit together, and I love every second of it.
Yeah. They're our little heroes, man. That's something I tell my daughter that often. I tell her often that she's my hero. I tell her, because she did. I mean, her and Mary, and I get to live with these two people who are generally my greatest heroes, man. They're the two people that have saved me the most, that have brought the most love into my life, into my heart. Because the way I grew up was disconnected me in a big way from my feelings, disconnected me in a big way, particularly for trust, and more trust for women. I had a really strong thing. I couldn't trust women because of how my mother and sisters were, how I was ingrained as a small child. But as my daughter was born, kind of the same thing. That started to shift me in a big way. And then it was only about 2 years after that Mary showed up in my life. And then that started to really open me up. And now I have this beautiful, like I've been able, I always like to say our spirits are vastly intelligent. Our people are pretty smart, but our spirits are vastly intelligent. My spirit's so vastly intelligent that it's manifested a reality where it's brought my two greatest heroes into my life, people I get to be around every day. And that is amazing to me. It's an amazing kind of thing. Chris Wesley says, thanks Pat for being here so you can do what you do. Yeah, Pat, I enjoy what you do. I enjoy the energy that you bring into the world. And that's why I always try to get over there, watch the Daily Stoic readings. Are you going to do a reading today? You got any Daily Stoic today for us?
I sure do. Yeah.
Good. Let's do that. I think that's what we should do, is get in some Daily Stoic.
Beautiful. There's one thing I was just thinking about that I think is so awesome, and I'm sure on your journey you've encountered this, but I've recently met some people and I do believe, like, in past lives when we reincarnate, and that's kind of a newer belief over the past year. But I've like meet someone and it's my long lost sister that I have not, and I'm literally crying over this person that I don't physically have just met, and it was just mind blowing, so beautiful to me. And I expressed this to this person because I'm like, this is fucking weird. How am I going to tell someone like I've known you for eons,
Mhm.
And they said the exact same thing, and it's like, wow, like I'm really, it's just reassurance that I'm on this path, and it's just, I don't know, I just thought it was super beautiful, and I wanted
Yeah,
to share.
that is super beautiful. I would say in my current reality, the vast majority of people that are within my general vicinity and circle are people I've known in other realities. Because you got to remember, you're having a human experience, but this isn't what you really are. There's people that are, so the person I could feel as you were telling me, this person, think of yourself instead of Pat or Patrick, you're a cell. You're a cell in a larger kind of body where you have cells that live right next to you, and like they're sort of familiar because you are all that ever has been. It's just there's kind of been amnesia. So like that was something I felt about Mary early on, is like, wow, it's like you've been here forever. Like actually even now I don't really have memories of there being a time of my life before Mary was here. I mean, I was married to other women and all kinds of things, but that's not how I remember it's like she's always been here. And that was something that came through as well when we first started dating. She put her hands on my back and it shot me in. I was laying in bed. She put her hands on my back, and the way her hands touched my back, it fired a memory of I had when I was about 4.5 years old laying in my bed. It was after a pretty good beating, and one of my older sisters set me up. So I was feeling really low and really heavy. And I remember I didn't have the words, but like I was asking spirit or asking God, like I would just love for it to feel loved by like a feminine touch. Like I would love to feel love instead of pain. And I remember in that moment I could feel, because I've been having like paranormal experiences my entire life. Most of them I just chalked them up to I was crazy. This one I had lots of them happen when I was a little kid. My mom told me that that was bad, so I kind of forgot those two. But this one came right back to me because when she touched my back, I realized she's always been there. So outside of here, we're all cells. Like I know you're a cell and we're connected in some sort of way. I've known you in many different lifetimes. Like you can just tell that most of the people that you're around, I would imagine at this state of your consciousness development are going to be people, even if you aren't aware yet, are people or energies that have always been there with you. Because what's happening as you're straightening out your frequency, you're bringing together the divine intelligence that is you, the true you. Awesome, man.
Very cool. Yeah, I got the daily stoic here, so I'm going to say my little prayer first so I clear
Yes,
myself up.
please do. I'd like to do that with you.
Divine Creator, I just ask that you flow into my life and make me a channel of peace, love, happiness, and understanding. And just want to give gratitude to Anthony here and the Positive Pineapple for spreading this word through the waves of the internet. And I just want to thank you for this day and this cool, crisp air. And yeah, bless them, change me.
Bless them, chains me.
Cool. So January 9th. This is, anyone wants to see the Daily Stoic.
Mm-hmm.
What we control and what we don't. Some things are in our control while others are not. We control our opinion, choice, desire, aversion, and, in a word, everything of our own doing. But we don't control our body, property, reputation, position, and, in a word, everything not of our own doing. Even more, the things in our control are by nature free, unhindered, and unobstructed, while those not in our control are weak, savage, and can be hindered and are not our own. That's Epictetus. Today, you won't control the external events that happen. Is that scary? A little, but it's balanced when we see that we can control our opinion about those events. You decide whether they're good or bad, whether they're fair or unfair. You don't control the situation, but you control what you think about. See how that works. Every single thing that is outside your control, the outside world, other people, luck, karma, whatever, still presents a corresponding area that is in your control. This alone gives us plenty to manage, plenty of power. Best of all, an honest understanding of what is within our control provides real clarity about the world. All we have is our own mind. Remember that today, when you try to extend your reach outward, it is much better and more appropriately directed inward. And that's it.
Mhm.
So I actually go back and forth with this a little bit because I do believe, like, obviously we're not controlling other people, or random, I wouldn't say random, situations occur that are seemingly out of our control, and I 100% have control of my perception, the way I yeah, view this. Obviously the same thing, the way I view the situation, how I act through the situation. But I also believe that we are like creators of our reality, and they're almost mirrors. Everything that happens is kind of a mirror to. I have to be a vibrational match for that situation to occur in my life. So if I'm not putting like a, if I'm not worried about the exact picture of what's happening, and I'm understanding I'm attracting that vibration, I do think I control my outside circumstances to an extent, right? Like, I'm not saying exactly what goes down I have ultimate control over. Maybe but I play some part. Like, if I feel like if I wake up, set my day, meditate, do my little yoga thing, and get really centered. When I go out into the world, I will encounter less like bullshit than I would if I got out and I'm unconsciously brushing my teeth, grab my coffee, running out, you know. So it's if I fine tune my receiver to be in the receiving mode of the divine, I do believe I create almost like a bubble around myself that only allows the higher vibrations in. So, yeah, all I have on that for now.
Mhm. Yeah. So when it comes to control, the only control we really have over anything is the reaction. That's it, the reaction. And so connected to those things are things like you mentioned, perception. You have a choice of how you choose to look at things. And that has everything to do with your vibration, with your frequency. So I agree with all that. With your frequency has a lot to do with what you attract to you. This also, you can be high vibing. It's not that high vibe means there shouldn't be challenge. The high vibe means you should have challenge, like challenges that help you to even improve your vibration. So I don't typically ascribe to ideas that we can bubble ourselves off and separate ourselves from the whole in any sort of way. People do try that. I work with a lot of people that I call that shielding, and this is kind of a common thing for people in the earlier awarenesses of energy. Because the mind's still dualistic in thinking there's good and bad energy. The truth is there's no good nor bad energy. It's all just energy. And it's all good or bad, depending on how you charge it, what you're giving to it, or what you do with it. So it's usually through judgment. It's judgments. Like, you'll never hear me say, I don't believe in imperfection. I can't agree with someone that tells me, well, I'm not perfect and neither are you. I would say the contrary. Well, you're perfect and so am I, because God doesn't make junk. The universe doesn't make mistakes. So I kind of have a really open view to those things and just be open to kind of receive them. Ideas usually that you need protection are rooted in internal fear. I don't need protected from anything. Whatever's meant to come to me through my vibration is precisely what I'm asking for. I ask God, the creator, every day to bring me the necessary things. This includes challenges, which I get plenty of them. The challenges come, and what do? They allow me to test my faith. Do I believe that everything's perfect? I do. I really, really do. The depth of me don't believe it any other way. Do I forget sometimes? Yes. I still am having a human condition where I get to experience an ego mind that has roots in fear, rooted fear having to do with unresolved emotional data and past experiences. It's almost like there's times where I feel like I'm watching my reality and I'm looking through a dirty windshield comprised of past experiences that's affecting my overall view. But what I can kind of do is kind of stick my head out the window and look beyond those things and see kind of more of a deeper truth, a bigger truth, without separation, just kind of rooted in oneness. Control is a silly thing. Like, why do I need control? I am everything. What is it that I'm trying to control? So I kind of move along just through the idea of flow. Like I'm a big proponent of row your boat. Row that boat gently down the stream. Just kind of go with the flow. Since I've been doing that, everything I need, every bit of my growth and expansion and all those things, all the people I need to meet, and there's the people around the world. That's not all of that's happened not by me controlling. It's been happened by me letting go. And the more I let go, the more that shows up to me, because now I'm no longer trying to stop the universe from doing what it's meant to do. To think that we could, stop something bad from happening, that's an illusion. That really can't happen, because the things that happen have to happen. We say, why do bad things happen to people? Because it's through trial that we grow. Without trial, you cannot grow. Like, you'll hear people say, if there is a God, why does he let people die? Well, there's a couple ways to understand this. One, death is a natural part of living. And all stories are interconnected. Someone dies somewhere, someone lives somewhere else. Everything's connected in the bigger picture. It's our judgments. It's the ego judgments. It's saying, this is bad because it's uncomfortable for me and I don't agree with it. And that's where we move into the disagreement with reality. As soon as I disagree with reality, I'm fully disempowered. Now I no longer am one with reality. Whenever I say it should be some other way, I'm saying I'm separate from one. And when that happens, what is that? That's my program talking. That's what's happening. But I can choose at any given moment to become one with my program and fully accept it. I'm not saying that there's not terrible things that feel terrible happen in the world. I am saying that. And I'm saying that they're painful. But it's through that pain I grow, and you grow, and everyone grows. And then on a deeper level, it's understanding that everything's energy, everything's frequency, and who you really are beyond the character of your human part is eternal. So you're never been born and you'll never die. That's the actual truth. I know this in my own experience because I remember most of my lives that I've lived already, and the gaps and spaces in between. So I'm aware that, well, I'm never going to die from here. So I have I have zero fear of dying. I'm never going to actually die. I'm just not going to be here. I may die from here. But this is just a training school in some sort of fashion, is how I like to see it. Human school. Human school is this amazing program in which we get to run that's loaded with ups and downs. It's loaded, but boy, is it really good at teaching us how to become stable. It teaches us well on how to become non-swerved by the things that happen in the reality. I used to get really upset when certain things would happen. Now I just roll into it with, I have acceptance. And that's the true key. You really want to have any control over anything, that's going to come through our acceptance. I accept each moment as if I've chosen it. This doesn't mean you don't want things to change or get better. You can always do that. Your idea, you are creation itself. So what shall you do? You shall create. That was channeling.
Yeah, that was awesome. Yes. It's like, I think of it too as like, right now, there's nothing that's not a manifestation, but am I deliberately creating or not? And that's kind of, I like how you said about the bubble. Like, yes, I don't agree. I can't separate myself from reality, but what I can do is set myself up for a better vibration for the day, and of course, like you said, these challenges will come in to help me fine tune, and I like to say, like, I pray to be an instrument of the Most High, and what do you do with instruments? You tune them, and through that is challenges and adversaries. And yeah, that was beautiful, beautiful, brother, for sure.
Mm-hmm. You were just making an energy ball. I don't know if you were aware of it.
Yeah.
You had a light, soft blue ball. It's still there. It's in your hands. You have an energy ball in your hands. It's coming from your heart. It's pretty cool. Let's see. It's called letting grace proceed you. I like that idea. Grace. I like to be grace, to put myself into the vibration of grace. That's something that you can kind of do. That's kind of an esoteric teaching, is you can create a bubble that can attract things to you. You can create a bubble vibrating. The thing you don't want to do is create any sort of, like, there's people that create vibrational bubbles for protection. I need to protect myself from other people's energy. It's your energy. That's the thing. And so what I tell people is there's two ways about this. If you're afraid, then you must shield yourself. When you train yourself to stop being afraid, you'll learn to master your energy. I can pick up any energy. Someone can have a totally shitty attitude. I don't have to walk away from it. I don't have to engage in it either. What I can do is take the energy and I can transform it, because it's light. It's actually light. It's frequency. Any frequency, we're capable as sovereign beings of taking it and transforming it. I can take someone's pain, and if it hurts me, I can turn it into love. And if I can do that, then what I'm training, because since we're all part of one living thing, anything I train myself to be able to do or transform or transmute, that becomes part of collective knowledge and allows someone else. Maybe, it's like the string theory or spooky action at a distance. If I'm changing, everything's changing, and at the deepest parts of the cosmos, per se.
Quantum entanglement. Yeah.
Right. Hold on. Let's see what Tom Thompson said here. And earlier in life, although I did not understand that I was or what the consequences of my inactions were until about 5 or 6 years ago. Inaction. Yeah, that can happen. Let's see. What we got here? Love the analogy of looking through a dirty windshield is like letting our current vision being blocked by the past. That's how it's always felt to me. Like when my conscious started to turn on, I became aware. It's like I had on dirty glasses, or like I'm looking through this dirty windshield out into this world that has nothing to do with this windshield. So then what I started to do is like, what am I beyond my windshield? And those are how the questions of healing start. Who am I without this pain? Who am I without the story I'm agreeing to? Are there other opportunities? Are there other possibilities that exist beyond what I'm agreeing to? My favorite thing is to self-question. And that's also how I lead a lot of healing with other people, is I'll just ask questions. Ask questions you never asked before. Things like that. Self-talk.
I really like that. Well, I thought that was really cool. Yeah. The dirty lens. Yeah. We have different lenses we can put on. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's a choice too. You can choose. Do you want to turn it up? And I can choose in any given moment. That's how awesome it is to be human, man. You can in any given moment decide how you want to look at shit. Yeah. All right, is this a problem? Do I want it to be a problem? Or can I just say this is an opportunity? Because it is. As soon as you change your mind, it's a problem until you say it's not a problem anymore. It's only a problem because you're saying it is. And that's what I try to get everyone to understand. What are you saying to yourself? Self-talk is the A1 thing, the A1 condition in which we're running in our program. What am I saying to myself, and what am I agreeing to? And if it's not empowering me and other people, what good is it? Should I hold on to this program? Then it starts to strip away. Then you can start to look at, then you understand, well, why do I think that? Why do I think this thing? Why do I think I'm not, here's a great one. All humans, we all fall into holes where we think we're not good enough. I'm not enough. I'm not good enough. This isn't enough. This should be more. It should be. The shouldhood starts to show up. All of us fall into there. But then it just comes down to, what am I agreeing to?
Our worthiness is not in question.
I love it. You have all the quotes. Do you remember whose quote that is by any chance?
I think it might be a Abraham Hicks.
Oh, okay. A channel. So yeah. Abraham's a channel. This is a very common channel people use around the world. A guy that has a very common. I connect to the same channel. I just use it in a different way. A lot of people do. I'm not like rare. There's lots of people that channel. There's a guy that has a channel. He channels into a form of divine intelligence that he calls Bashar.
Yeah.
His name is Daryl Anka. So it's just a channel, and he gave it the name. The name happens through him. I channel the exact same frequency. It tells me the exact same things. I find it quite fun and comical when I watch him channel, because when I can see the channel, I'm aware of it. And then when it comes through, it makes me giggle, because the interpretations of his skin suit are just slightly different than mine, because we're instruments. We have, like you said, you hit the nail on the head before, right? You are an instrument. And that's exactly what we're here doing, is we're tuning it, tuning that nervous system. That's why I work so much in the neural space. It's because the more tuned the nervous system is, the more capability that we have to be able to take in frequency information and then translate it. So my favorite is to see people channel this thing. He's calling it Bashar. I don't have a name for it. It's living energy. It has like kind of a personality and things, but it's mostly, I think he's saying for him, it's like almost like an extraterrestrial or something. I don't ascribe to extraterrestrials, because that means it's not of this territory. Everything is of this territory. There's no extraterrestrial. There's just things. There's energies that are everywhere. So when I watch him channel that, I become fully aware it's the same channel. It's just he's given it a name. I know why, because look, now it's kind of like a show for him. He has this thing where he sits down and people come to see him kind of wig out and turn into Bashar. So it's like, but this also goes into teachings. Like, that's a form of shamanism, is what it is. He's channeling. It's like a form of shamanism, connecting to higher forms of energy, shifting out of consciousness. And something that comes along with that form of shamanism is showmanship. A shaman is a showman to some degree, helping people to see things in a new way. I don't know how we got all the way over there, but it just kind of rolled.
Like you said, row on the stream, man, wherever it takes you.
Yeah, it always does. I'm going to talk real quick about all the new things we got going on. So what I've got going on right now is I've been guided through Spirit to offer 3 classes a week. I'm doing 3 open classes, open public classes online a week. We've already been through 2 of them. Sunday, we did a meditation, but it was kind of more of a healing circle. But I'm going to do 1 meditation group a week. They're going to be at different days and different times. So you have to kind of watch the schedule to see what works. I'm trying to make it available to everyone. So meditation. So we'll be going into a group meditation. And the first thing is we're going to explore some different styles and types of meditation, because there's many. There's not one way. And the thing is I want people to be able to see these different ways to use their mind and use the meditation. Secondarily, working in a group amplifies its possibility and potential. We're amplifying energy because we're all nodes of frequency within space, or quantum time space. So if we're all working together, it's like, just like prayer, it's empowering, it's creating more power and potential in the meditation for all of us to grow, growing beyond the conditions of the intellectual mind. So I'll be doing 1 meditation a week. Last night we did manifestation, and oh my goodness, it was the most powerful manifestation group I've ever had, because the channel that came in, because I like to be intuitive about these things. I may have some sort of game plan coming in, but I'm fully flexible and open to whatever guidance comes to me. So last night it took us into a really deep form of meditation. The people that were in there were just the right parts of the because we're all parts of one instrument, is another way to look at it. Tuning this instrument tunes the whole instrument. So the right people were in there, and we had a really profound experience. I've experienced things in manifestation space I've never experienced before, which is completely where I want to go with this, because with groups, it grows me, it grows you, it grows everyone, even people who aren't participating. It's growing them. But it also helps to people. Most people don't really understand manifestation. They know the word. They've had a lot of 3rd dimension teachers tell them it's like this and it's like that and it's like this. I would go deep into that. I go deep into understanding and explaining how frequency, it's vibration, and how when you embody vibration, you can attract things with it. And then the 3rd one, which will be tonight, is breath work. I'll be teaching straight breath work. It's going to be, I'm not going to go too far off into shamanism, the occult, metaphysics. I'm not going to go far into those things. It's going to be more just to get people together, to be accountable, to have a group of people to breathe. And again, putting people in a group magnifies the energy. So for people who are energy sensitive, these things are, quite intense kind of events. So all those things are open, and they're also on a sliding scale. All right. And then also anyone that wants to get into those things and may not have the abundance, even if you want to do all three, I'll help you in there, because it's more important to me to have you there than have your money. That's how it is. I need money. I need those kinds of things to survive and feed my heroes and those kinds of things. But that's not what's most important to me by any means. So that's one of the first couple things that's coming up, the weekly groups. And then we're also have a bunch of other things that are happening. So actually on Thursday, the 11th, which is 2 days from now, we'll be at Sacred Waters. We are at Sacred Waters pretty much every other week, every 2 weeks. And what we're going to be working on, because it's going to be on the 11th, that'll be the 111 portal. These numerical portals can be very powerful for transformation. And on top of it being a 111 portal, it's also new moon. So there's a new moon. So allowing us to be rebirthed in some new energy. That's Thursday. Saturday, we're going to be at a private residence for Yogi's Karma. A friend of ours, that's her name of her business, is Yogi's Karma. She's a yoga teacher, and she teaches out of her home in North Ridgeville. It's a really nice spot. Last time we were there, it was a full house, and we had lots of people there and had a very powerful experience. But we'll be there doing our thing, doing some holistic transformation type work in there. And then I'm excited about this. On the 20th, I'll be going back to Harmonic Journeys Holistic Fair. I've done a bunch of these in the past. I just haven't had time in any last year and a half to do any. So I'm excited to go back to Harmonic Journeys. We're going to be at a holistic fair. We are not setting up a vendor table this year. What we're going to do is walk around, and we're going to mix and mingle with all the others, hand out some stickers, some cards, some rocks, probably some things like that. And then I'll be doing a public speaking between 1:30 and 2:30 again. This will be my second time speaking for Harmonic Journeys, but I'll be there, and I'll be talking about the benefits of holistic healing and transformation, what that is, what it means, and things we can do to get started on that kind of way. So I'm really excited about that. And then we have a bunch of other stuff going on into the month. One of the greatest things is going to be at the end of the month. On the 27th, we're going to have one of our Shaman ice bath mini retreats. And that's going to be at Old Brooklyn Nutrition with our friend Jackie V. So those are really fun. If you want to learn more about cold water immersion, this is a good place for that. Also, it's just a mini retreat. It's like a total reset for your being. I love doing those. Those are lots of fun. I want to grow those and make those go all over the world. But that was just a quick touch into some of the things we're doing. Also, we have a new list of services on our website. I've rearranged. We've done some things with the list of services. And I recommend giving them a try. It's been a busy year already since the new year. There's lots of resolutions. There's people that are just showing up and they're like, I'm interested. I want to learn more about spirituality. There's people that have shown up and like, I want to be more successful at work. There's people that show up. It might be some as I want to learn how to sleep. Yeah, it can be. There's so many different ways that you can show up into holistic transformation. You don't have to be sick. You don't have to be depressed. You don't have to be suffering from deep forms of addiction for this to benefit you. For all human beings can benefit from just sitting with me or Mary or both of us. And what we do is we start to kind of work into your mind, your emotions, your energy field. It starts off really subtle. And what we do is we just kind of feel what's going on in your life and help you to find new ways, new decisions to make in your life to make it more beautiful. What I always try to tell people is I am not the guy that knows all the answers. All right. I know the show says ask the shaman. I'm not the shaman. The shaman is the higher self, is what that is. I don't know all the answers. All right. But what I can do is I can help you find the answers. The true wisdom is in you. Your wisdom you need isn't in me. The wisdom is that you need is in you. And what I can do is I can help people find that. I can help them open that up. And once that begins to happen, a vast shift changes. I'm working on that too. I have pages and pages and pages of people's testimonials and how the things we've done have vastly transformed their life. Some of them I already have on video. Like there's some profound ones where people talk about the interactions they've had with me or the Positive Pineapple on the live streams, like even for Moshi. Like a good one to watch is Jody Hot Hands. If you go on over to the Moshi page, watch Jody Hot Hands. She'll tell you how her life has completely transformed just from the first meeting with us. There's other people that open up and talk about it. The thing is a lot of people are kind of reserved about talking about these things because they don't want to be judged by others. There's people that like, I'll help them heal this chronic pain, and they go to their doctor and the doctor goes, well, what's happened? And they're like, well, I don't know if you're going to understand when I tell you. And the doctor goes, okay, try me. And then they go, well, I met this shaman, and it seems like across the board, hardly doctors will want to hear anything about that. They're like, oh, okay, well, if it works for you, kind of thing. Right. But all of a sudden, like this medical condition you've been suffering with for a decade no longer exists in your reality. So it just goes a long way for, one, learning more about placebo effect, learning about how powerful we are about healing our own bodies and minds. And that's really where our true power lies, is how we can transform the self. You can be any character you want, Pat. And that's the cool part.
Absolutely.
All right, everybody, we're at about 1 hour 5. If anybody has any questions, comments, and concerns, please drop those right now. I would love to hear about those. I also want to invite everybody into our online communities in which we have. So it's pretty vast. As you've seen here this morning, there's people in different countries, different parts of the world that watch and connect. We have lots of different people that kind of rotate in and out of these groups. They're really fun. Oh, also what's coming up soon, I'm going to be running another first round of shamanic training. I've had a strong kind of outpouring for that, people asking about that. The people that are already been through have been pretty good at helping me to tell others about it. I ask all my students to generate some sort of review. A small percentage do. Try to get as many. I don't know. It's just really hard. It's just really hard to get people to talk about and invite others into the space. I don't know why it's like that. But it's the people that do the thing and help me out. But I'm also starting the second round as well. And the second round is going to be broke down into workshops, where we'll be doing like initiation workshops. The next one will be soon. I'll be actually doing a workshop on soul retrieval, helping people learn how to receive, integrate, and retrieve soul fragments. So that should be fun.
Very cool. Yes.
Let's see. If you like, can you direct some healing energy to this sinus bronchitis situation I have been dealing with for about 2 weeks? Sure, Tom. And then I'm also going to direct you. I don't know if you were here at the beginning of the stream. Patrick came on and he's having some sinus congestion. I think that's common this time of year. It's mostly because we're not getting outside enough. The first thing I would tell anybody, if you're having this issue, you want to get outside, get your feet in the grass, get some, even if it's overcast, get some sun on your skin, drink it in. Just having your feet in the grass, current research is showing 9 seconds. 9 seconds with your bare feet in the dirt, the grass, the sand is long enough for you to begin to change the pH level of your blood. You can begin to alkalize your blood in 9 seconds, because pH stands for potential hydrogen. And when you're standing with your feet on the earth, it begins to ground your electrical system of your body in a certain way that begins to shift the hydrogen atom on the surface of the cell. And what this does is this results in a change in pH. You become alkalized. And this is why it works so well for people with chronic illness, disease, and those kinds of things happening. So my favorite thing to do is I do it when I take out my dog. I just go outside. Like I wear shorts a lot in my house, so I'll just rip my shirt off. I'll go outside and I'll stand in the grass. And what I do usually is I do something called Zen swings. I'll swing my arms and pivot on my toe and use my hip. It's kind of a qigong kind of move, and it gets all the fluid and lymph moving in the body. I focus on my breathing, and what I'm doing is I'm grounding myself to the earth. I'm allowing myself to ground to the earth. And then, I'm a shaman, so I do some other things. I connect and I send down my hucha, my heavy energy. I draw back some earth energy. There's a tree right outside the front of my house. I connect with the tree. I like to do these practices, multi-sensory types of practices. Sometimes I stand there, I'll tap or slap, loosening up the energy in the body. And, only need a couple minutes, but what I can say is not only is that good for your immune health, it's good for the mental, emotional health. I suffered for years with seasonal depression issues. I couldn't stand any sort of rain or anything at all. Now I can find a lot of release and feel quite well because now I'm not disconnected from nature. And just getting that sun, just getting your feet grounded, a little bit of sun, a little bit of breath starts to change the world. Your world. Tom said, I was walking in the forest most days in the state park. I'll try putting my feet in the snow today. I recommend it. So in our tradition, snow is seen as the purest form of refined light, pure Sami. So rain is another form. The waters are pure Sami, dropping from the heavens. So getting your feet out in the snow is a beautiful thing and something I definitely recommend for everybody. I go out there, I make snow angels and stuff. So I live on kind of a main street, so like people drive by all the time and looking at me doing weird shit in my front yard, taking ice baths in my front, and I'll kind of do it right out in front. I don't, because that's the easiest route. I have a tub outside right now. I've been visiting it every day. I just leave it filled up, and it's cold outside. Got a little bit of ice forms on the top. I just keep going until it freezes over, and then I don't worry about it for a while till it thaws out again. But that's a nice way to have free ice, essentially, or a free cold bath. But I'm the guy that's out front in just swim trunks shoveling my driveway. Swim trunks and sometimes flip-flops if the ground's really cold and I don't want to get like frostbite on my feet, on the bottoms of my feet. But I'll be out there. I'll just be shoveling the driveway and just my shorts, and people drive by and they're all whopper jawed, slack jaw. What's going on? What's wrong? Because, it's totally counterintuitive to what we've been taught. When I was a kid, mommy was like, bundle up, put on your mittens, put on your hat, because you don't want to catch cold. But it's completely the opposite of that. The more you challenge the physiology, the healthier it is. It goes back to, now I'm having this awareness come in where it goes back to one of the first things we were talking about today, and it's seasons, training yourself in your seasons. If you live in a cold climate and it's a season of cold climate, wouldn't it make sense that you should probably acclimate yourself to the cold? I think so. That's what I think, and eating the foods that are available in this place at this time. Tom Thompson, what's coming through for me to tell you is yes, of course, I'm always sending healing energy out, but I will go on the YouTube channel and I will go to the sinus. It's like sinus allergy, something relief. You can go in there and do the exercise. Patrick and I were doing it when we came in. Strong exhales, big inhales.
Yeah, beautiful stuff.
So, Pat, anything you want to plug or put up? I noticed yesterday you're on. Are you using StreamYard or what are you using?
Yeah, I use StreamYard. I grabbed up that software just so I can. I was using my computer for Facebook, my phone for Instagram, and I'm just like, man, I know you use StreamYard, and I looked it up, and I got all the stuff, X and TikTok and all that, and I still haven't worked out all the details, but yeah, I gotta get Pat Simmons on Facebook and P Simmons 422 on Instagram, and I'm sure I'll make a more cohesive way to find me here. Still kind of scattered, but yeah, like I read the Daily Stoic for all you still watching, and yeah, I like to read these little books and just post positive content and just get different thoughts brewing, and that's currently what I got going on right now, and I think there'll be more to come. So yeah, cool.
Yeah, I gotta say, I was pretty excited to see that you stepped into broadcasting software. I was like, "Yay!" That's so good because that's something I feel that your voice should be heard in the world. That's how it feels to me, And so when I saw you on there broadcasting, I was like, all right, man, good, a step in the right direction. But it's just like you're saying, like, I don't know, it's not all figured out yet. That's cool. Don't ever let it be. Just let it keep evolving. Let it keep happening.
Right.
And you're on your journey, man. That's awesome. It's just another step in the right direction, and it all starts to open itself up. So fantastic. So good. Get your channels all connected together, and then you can invite me on to one of your streams, and then you can just question the shit out of me for a while, and that would be fun.
Cool.
I love questions. All right. That's the thing. That's the whole reason why it's called Ask the Shaman, because I love questions. Some days I get shitloads of questions. Other times we kind of just sit here and talk a lot and kind of are in a place of absorption or, connection.
Cool.
Oh, Tom Shuck said, yesterday I went to the store in just shorts and flip-flops. Is it cold where you're at, Tom? It hasn't been too cold here, but today I think it's supposed to snow pretty good. I haven't looked outside yet. I will check it out. Yeah, please do. Tom, I can probably send it to you too.
Cool.
All right, everybody. What I would like to do is I'd like to kind of close this space with us in a group. We have a nice group here, and we can connect to our gratitude. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have you put your hands in front of your heart in prayer position. This kind of a prayer position. We're going to take in some deep breaths, and we're going to breathe in through our nose and a soft sigh. Make the sigh soft, but feel it. Breathe in. Soft sigh. Feels so good. Big breath. Two more. And once more. And just relax. I just want you to let yourself relax. You're not doing anything with your breath, but you're aware of it. This is what I was talking about earlier, breath awareness. You don't have to necessarily do anything. Just bring your attention to your breath. Feel your breathe. Feel yourself breathe. And as you feel yourself breathe, what we're going to do is we're going to call here the living energy or the spirit of gratitude. Because gratitude beyond a word and a concept is living energy. And with our intention, as we calm down our breath and calm down our mind and our body, we can use our intention to call here the conscious frequency of gratitude. And so we call that here. We call here the living energy, the frequency of gratitude. And we also call here all spirits and energies and divine forms of light that can help us make connection to this consciousness, to this frequency of consciousness in which we're calling gratitude. And now that you've opened that up, what you're going to do is you're going to take your left hand and put it on your navel, your right hand and put it on your heart. And you're going to take a moment and just feel your navel, feel your hand on your navel, the heat of your hand. And just making a connection at the navel. And imagining, sensing, feeling as if you're connecting energetically to the spirit of gratitude. And then you're going to do the same with your heart. First, feel your heartbeat, feel your hand on your chest and the warmth of your hand. Let your hand and heart connect. And you're allowing yourself also to connect to the living energy of gratitude. Now that you've called the energy here, next what you're going to do is you're going to bring forth a concept. What brings gratitude to you? What makes you feel? What concept, what thing, person? There can be more than one, of course. I want you to just think about the things you're most grateful for currently in your reality. And you can simplify these things. I'm grateful for my breath. I'm grateful for this group and this soul family. I'm grateful for the heroes in which live around me in this reality. I'm surrounded by beautiful teachers, loving people, and I am so grateful for that. Grateful for the beauty of this reality and this experience. And now what you're paying attention to is the vibrational tingle in your body, through your hands, in your heart, in your belly. What does gratitude feel like? And what you're not going to do is try to answer the question. You're not trying to quantify or name it. You're just giving your attention to gratitude and how it feels. Where does you feel it? And your intention now is to embody the feeling, to take that feeling, to take that vibration that you feel in your body, that gratitude, and give it permission to spread across your entire body through your instrument. You're now having a mental note or an intention to be tuning the frequency of your instrument with gratitude. And that also can bring forward more gratitude. I'm grateful that I have this beautiful ability to be able to shift myself into gratitude at will and bring it into full embodiment. And allow all of the cells in your body, the trillions of cells that make up the beautiful miracle and universe that is you, allow them to begin to vibrate, to resonate in the frequency of gratitude. Give gratitude and share gratitude with all of the inhabitants of your being. Let the gratitude and its frequency go deeper and deeper into the deepest subatomic particles and all the space in between, vibrating and resonating with gratitude. And now what we're going to do is you're going to use your intention, and I want you to begin to radiate, imagining you're like a tuning fork. And what you're doing is you're allowing yourself to vibrate, to resonate into the space around you. What I like to do is picture as if I'm a small pebble that's been thrown into a calm pond. And where that pebble went into the water, there's ripples and waves that go out in all directions. Allow yourself to be that pebble and allow your waves to be made of gratitude. And fill those up and let them touch the room around you, all of the contents of the room, the walls, the paint, the light, the air, saturated in gratitude. Now we're going to take that one step further, and I want you to use your intention to radiate that gratitude into the collective consciousness across humanity. For those who cannot find gratitude today because they're in so much pain, God, Creator, Divine Source, allow us to be beacons of vibrational light in which to bring gratitude and love into the hearts of all. Dear Creator, we ask that you allow us to become perfect radiators of light and help those who are living in fear to release in this moment. Dear Creator, we ask that you allow us to radiate the light of healing, of consciousness, of unity into the minds and hearts of all of those who are ready to receive. And what we're going to do is we're going to use our breath. We're going to use our breath to radiate more. So as you're breathing in all the light of the cosmos. You're breathing that in. And as you're exhaling softly, you're radiating. Through my exhale, I send out more light, more gratitude, more love. I am love. Take in love. Charge it into you and radiate it. Make it more. Take the love inside of you, the love you have for your partner, your wife, your husband, your children, your friends, and breathe that in. Charge it into your being and send it out. Let a smile come on your face as you're doing such beautiful work. And breathe in. Breathe through your smile. Let your cheeks rise. That's it. Feel. 3 more. 2 more. And 1 more. Allow yourself just to be in this moment. Feel the vibration of your body, the beating of your heart, the softness in your tummy, the light in your mind. And affirming to yourself your gratitude. I am so grateful. I am so grateful. I am so grateful. I am love. Affirm to yourself, I am love. Yes, you are. I am love. And remind yourself that you are worthy. You are worthy. You're worth everything. Your creation itself. I am worthy and I am enough. And then taking in a nice deep breath and exhaling. And taking in a nice deep breath and exhaling. And 1 more nice deep breath and exhaling. Very good. And then just slowly bringing yourself back to center. Letting your hands come off of your heart and your belly nice and slow. Take them off slow and feel the energy between your hands and your body. I also like to bring them in close and take them away. Feel as you kind of modulate your hands in and away from your body. Feel the vibrational field of yourself. See if you can connect with your own vibration through your hands. And it's beautiful. Bring your hands back together in prayer position and take just 1 moment here just to give thanks to the higher power, to your highest power, to what you believe is divine, to all the energies and beings of light that have come here to assist us. And let us all give our divine happiness and grace to each other. I love you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Naiki kuyaiki arpichai sonkolai. A dove from my heart. Coming back into the present moment, opening your eyes, looking around the room a little bit, feeling how you feel, noticing your shift. You're now vibrational in gratitude. Take that out into the world with you, my friends, my family. I love you all so much. Patrick, my brother, I love you. Thank you so much for being here. I always love having you. And let's keep creating. What can we do, man? Let's create stuff. Let's create channels and let's create media. Let's do things, man. What can we do? Just let your mind, don't think about it. I just want to plant those seeds. Let's plant seeds. Let's reach the whole world, man. We can do it. If not you, then who? If not now, then when?
Right.
Yeah.
Love you too. Thank you so much for having me on. And like you said, yeah, we'll make shit happen, brother.
I just love how you have a way with words. You know, we're going to make shit happen, bro. You just have the way you use language always is so fun. Just so impressive to me. All right, everybody. I hope you have a beautiful day. Don't forget to check out our website. Check out thepositivepineapple.org. That's the wrong thing. Book a session at positivepineapple.org. Check that out. Like I said, there's a new list of services. And if you can help support our mission of healing, every little bit counts. And I want to thank you for your generous donations. Have a beautiful day. Remember to breathe and be love.
Woo!
And we shall see you soon. Patrick, just hold on for a minute and let the outro go. And I want to talk to you for a minute.
Cool.
All right, buddy. Have a beautiful day.